you realise this is being recorded. Your stupidity is being documented. The fact that you can even ask me why I would assert that, given that you've had to distract away with an ad hominem when I've explained exactly why, given that the angular resolution limit observed in a telescope and detailed in the documentation when you buy the telescope is ignored by turning the view side on, representing what you see with your eyes with the side of your own head in the frame, and the thing you're looking at not in the distance but on the right hand side of the page, represented with feet or meters that do not change with distance, like the angular size would. That's how.
So why do ships disappear behind the horizon?
That would be because their angular resolution's being breached, or because there's an atmospheric condition that blocks the bottom. There's a whole number of reasons. I don't need to justify this. I don't make any claims about what the horizon should or shouldn't do. However, you, who, let's be honest here, a complete moron, has told us that if the Earth wasn't a globe, we wouldn't have a horizon. Now, that is amongst the stupidest things any people have ever said here. But you feel that in rebuttal to me pointing out precisely how our reality has been literally turned side on to remove all aspects of perspective, you would ad hom me about a slip of the tongue and then ask me how you've hijacked perspective and called it Earth curve, and how things would disappear from bottom up when I very specifically detailed an example with buildings in the distance and their angular limitation versus the deck that you also didn't listen to. Moron, deaf, thick, idiot. It's all being recorded. Now, this isn't a slip of the tongue. This is you being a demonstrable moron.
So how does the angular resolution...
So what, now time for questioning of me? You're not holding any cards. You're not in the privileged position to ask questions. I'm making statements that I'm asking you to respond to. Not with a question, but with an acknowledgement. There is no perspective in Earth curve maths. How do you feel about that? Maybe give us your opinion on your feelings. Maybe if I appeal to that, you'll actually respond to it.
Yes, we don't need it.
You don't need it? You're comparing curve maths to photographs, and you think you don't need to account for something in the photographs. That would be angular resolution limits and perspective. Yeah, you do. You're a moron. They absolutely are real and do take place in reality. Unlike a curve of an Earth that's an edge that blocks boats, that's never visible and only exists in maths, that's something we definitely don't need to concern ourselves with. Perspective's real, however. We do need to worry about that. It's real. Makes things get too small to see.
I agree. So
you agree. So you understand that the curve maths are useless because they've essentially hijacked the effective perspective. So you understand as a globe-believing fundamentalist zealot that your curve maths is just a joke. Dead. Debunked by a black swan.
No, I don't agree.
Oh, right. Well, you seem to understand that it doesn't include perspective. That alone debunks the idea that you can use this geometry.
So when I change elevation, my angular resolution changes because I
widen your angle versus the deck. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, the effect would be called foreshortening.
This is
news to you, is it, Fundy Fuckwit? Because basically, 5 minutes ago, everything disappearing in the distance was caused by Earth curve getting in the way. And according to Rumpus early on in the show, we can't draw a straight line to a geometric tangent point to do geometry. So this whole idea of a geometric Earth curve edge getting in the way of stuff is nonsense, especially when you consider that the very maths that's asserting that things we see in pictures are being blocked by a geometric Earth curve edge, when you take into account that that geometric Earth curve edge has been turned side on and doesn't include the effect that would make things disappear in the distance. That would be perspective, as you've conceded here. So the whole thing's dying, imploding, and we're sat here laughing and watching as the model burns. You understand that, Chaiki? I hope so. 6 more months, maybe.
Yeah, if you could only give me the formula to the...
You guys that believe that you're on a ball spinning through space is an accident, your entire world is going to burn in front of you. Your entire concept of reality is going to fall apart. This shit is not going to stop. You think we're going to stop? Right now, Google, which is owned by you know who, is basically on fucking trial for monetizing people's content, comments, and other stuff that literally comes from a logical, factual person with real information. This will not stop the flat earth movement. You cannot stop this. No matter how many fake viruses you have out there, no matter how many puppets you put on stage, your days are fucking numbered.
Change in angular resolution versus...
You can look it up. It's called the Rayleigh criterion. Write it down. Rayleigh criterion. Have you got a pen?
Yeah.
Interestingly, a couple of people backed me on this recently, including Dr. Professor Moronic Phil. He backed me. So he made a little video all about how real the diffraction limit was and explained it with the Rayleigh criterion. Oh, brilliant. I left a little comment for it and put a community post up. Dr. Phil, whatever his name is. I just call him Phil because I don't believe he's got any accreditation. And if he has, it should be stripped of him, especially as he's describing water vapour as not a gas when he's supposed to be dealing in hydrology of some description. That's his profession. Well, he should be stripped of any accreditation. The guy's a moron. Nevertheless, he went through and explained how real the diffraction limit was. Ignored my point that it's not in the curve maths, but backed me that it's real, therefore should be accounted for. It isn't. They've actually taken that effect and called it Earth curve.
He also backs up that Earth curve is presupposed, because he says that's how we come up with models. We presuppose them. But yeah, it's a pretty good hostile witness.
Sharky, can I ask you a question? When boats disappear bottom up first, is that due to perspective or a physical Earth?
You should be listening to this. You fucking barely capable of keeping yourself breathing mental fucking retards. You have no intelligence. You literally are the fucking stupidest creatures on this flat earth plane. The animals know more than you. A fucking cockroach has more intelligence than you. Listen to what this man is saying and then sit there and squirm inside of yourself.
Curve.
Physical...
Oh. Haven't been keeping up, huh?
Yeah, Black Swan, mate.
Yeah, you should have joined this show before the Black Swan came out.
Yeah, mate.
At least then you might have had a shot at that argument. But even your own side has given up the physicality of your model. So you just saying, oh, it's physical, that done. Even conceded by your own damn side. So what are you doing?
Who said...
Did he answer? I didn't hear an answer. He was
who is
pondering.
my own side?
Thank you. I'll ask you again. When a boat disappears bottom up, when you're looking at it, is that due to perspective or is that due to a physical Earth curve?
Something physical.
Oh.
So let me hear you say that again, or let me repeat it back. You think that when boats disappear bottom up first, it's because they're going over a physical Earth curve edge, correct?
You can take a coin on a flat surface, take the camera and the lens and put it just slightly above the surface, as you would be as an observer on a flat surface. Flat. 180 degrees. Flat. And pull the coin back from the camera And what you will observe is the camera will be catching the coin appearing to disappear from bottom up because of angular perspective, the Rayleigh criterion. Look it up, bitch.
More.
Speak up.
There is something
He's only
between
trolling.
you
He's only trolling.
and the boats. I'm not trolling. I don't want to say what you want me to say. I say what
I want you to.
Don't want you to say what you want me to say. It's a simple question. There's too much slime on this worm. This worm is so slimy, he can't answer the question because he'll have to answer it truthfully. And truthfully, worms are liars.
Answer the question. Is it the physical Earth curve that blocks the bottom of boats as it goes away from your sight, or is it due to perspective?
it's not due to perspective. It's due
So
to
then
an
that only
object
leaves one option.
that is
Say it.
between you and
An object without shape.
Yes,
Are you saying it's the geometric edge of the Earth getting in the way? Is that what you're saying?
it's the water.
So not Earth curve
Water's
geometry.
not a shape.
Not Earth curve then. Well, welcome to flat Earth.
Curves.
Nice that you know it's not Earth curve getting in the way.
Curves.
Good. Excellent.
Curves don't block view. It's an object that
Optical.
Water's not
Oh,
an
right.
object.
Hold on. Sorry, did you say optical?
object.
Can you stop stuttering? Maybe try and form words, sentences.
Object.
What
I'm going to
about
kick you
it?
out. If I get one more one-word answer out,
Object. Frankenstein doesn't know much. Object.
you're useless to me. You've become a retard.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Chucky, speak up, man. Put some bass in your voice. Put your chest in it.
Yeah.
Say it with your chest, man. Come on. What the hell's wrong with
Selective
you?
hearing.
Wake up.
It's the water between you and the boat.
Oh, right. So nothing to do with Earth curve then.
It has to do with the Earth curve.
How so?
So,
You've been asked, is it perspective or is it... You've been asked, is it perspective or is it Earth curve?
Nathan. No, not perspective.
What then? Earth curve? Like the geometry asserts. Is that...
Listen very carefully to what Nathan Oakley says here. He's explaining it for even the simplest childlike fucking minds to comprehend. He's now got this thing to say that it's a physical curve in front of the boat. This is where your brain is a globetard has been hijacked. This is where the point of entry of the penis in the back of your fucking skull was slid in.
Uh-huh. Very quietly.
Yes, you're correct for a change.
Oh, so the geometric horizon's getting in the way of boats and buildings again, is it, Trikey?
It's the water.
Yeah, you've said that already, you little weasel. Is it Earth curve geometry? Yes, it is Earth curve geometry. Well, no, it's the
Geometric
water.
horizon. I'm saying it's the water.
The water's
Water's
not Earth curve then.
Okay, Chaiki, when boats disappear bottom up, is it due to perspective? Is it due to Earth curve? Or is it due to water?
Due to object. Object this time will be the water. It is between you and the ship.
Do objects have geometry?
Yes.
Okay, how does an object between me and another thing prove Earth curve?
Because on flat Earth there is no object between you and the ship, according to perspective.
I knew that.
Goodness sakes. Mike, just shut up. I'll just mute him. There you go.
Do you know why he's getting frustrated and why he's saying, "I'll shut up now, I'll mute him"? According to flat Earth, there's no geometry according to perspective, blah, 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 blah. If you are on a flat surface, Rayleigh criterion, if the object moves away, it will get smaller and it will disappear to the point where you cannot see it anymore. Bottom up, bitch.
Somebody else.
No worries. We'll just have a few summaries from some of the globe side of this argument. A geometric horizon.
We are not going to see the geometric horizon.
No one's claiming that we see physical geometry.
It's not a visual horizon. Of course, what Mr. Oakley will say is that we presuppose what the Earth is, the shape of the Earth. Well, yes.
Well, yes.
Yep. Water vapor is a gas.
Well, yes.
That is the dumbest thing I think I ever heard. Are you joking? Professor Phil Belland, what a joke you are.
And with that, I'm going to say another huge, massive, enormous thank you to both Discord and G Plus panels for making today's after show possible, and